Every now and then, a person comes into your life, and in my mind, I say, Vince, buckle up.
Because here it comes.
You're that person.
Hey everybody, welcome to KM Reviews. I am Knittel Man. Today I have a special video for you, not my normal movie review and stuff like that, but actually I have a special guest here that I'm lucky is doing a very good interview with me. You may recognize her. She's a film critic.
It's raunchy, it's hilarious, it's ridiculous, and I think that that's its strong suit.
You may know her from The Schmoes Know.
Oh, the Sandra Bullock. I'm going with it.
Going with
Sandra Bullock.
Going with Sandy Bay.
Oh, I might live to regret this. Let one of the questions be speed.
All right.
Collider TV Talk.
Without any spoilers, what we do know is that one cast member threw the script across the room when they got to the last page. Another cast member stayed up all night reading it over and over because they couldn't believe what they saw. And somebody else threw up.
FX Movie Download.
Hey movie lovers, we've got the download on some of your favorite films.
Here's an inside look with wildly imaginative layer upon layer of screen chemistry.
There's going to be another film. They're already working on scripts. They're already meeting with writers. So we need to have
Even if this bombs.
Even if this bombs. Now, if this completely bombs, including internationally, they might pull the plug on it, but they are meeting with writers right now.
I love it.
Right?
All right, let's get to some yes and
Let's
no.
get to some yes and no.
If there is an argument
Loving
on
you
set,
is a yes.
aw, thanks.
For real.
What you mean you don't know me that well? I met you an hour ago.
It is Sasha-Perl Raver. Welcome.
How's it going?
Good, good. I know I'm a little smaller YouTube channel, but I'm really happy that you're here today. It's pretty awesome.
Sure, thanks for asking me.
So we'll just kind of dive right into these questions, I guess. So you've interviewed about 1 million celebrities. You know a lot about film and TV. You know, you're pretty familiar with the YouTube world. So did you see yourself ending up here? Like when you were growing up, is this kind of the road you wanted to go down?
No, not even a little bit. I mean, well, when I was growing up, YouTube didn't exist. But, I mean, when I was, like, way younger, I wanted to be like Leonard Bolton. I was like, I want to be like Leonard Bolton, but I want to have boobs. And I just didn't really know what that would entail. And when I went to school, I studied film criticism and I studied film production. And I knew that I loved film and TV, but I didn't really know in what aspect I would be involved in it. Yeah, but I mean, I'm very grateful for what I do. It's pretty random that I ended up here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody, you know, the old saying, life is what happens when you're making other plans. I never planned this. I'm grateful that I ended up here, though.
That is awesome. So at what point did you realize you could turn this into an actual career and it wasn't just some dream you had, but it was actually like, this is what I'm going to do?
When people paid me? Okay, I started off when my first job was I was a chef. I was just like sort of preternaturally talented at it, and I used to cook all the time, and that was how I paid for college. And when I got out of school, I really wanted to get into some aspect of film, but I didn't know what, and I just kept cooking. And I really wanted to write. I didn't know how to get into that, but I realized that I could write restaurant reviews and I could do food criticism. And food criticism led to film criticism. And then my bosses saw me on a Food Network show that I was on. My bosses at NBC, where I was doing film criticism, saw me on a Food Network show where I was cooking. And they were like, oh man, we didn't realize how good you were on TV. Just go be on TV and we're going to pay you a lot more than we pay you for writing stuff. And I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, I never realized that this can be my job until like my paycheck shows up and I'm like, that's awesome. Thanks.
With all that said, what kind of ambitions, what kind of goals, where is Sasha-Perl Raver going to be going forward from here?
Oh man, the truth is I don't want to be on camera. I know I'm loud and I know I'm kooky and I know that makes for good programming, but the truth is more than anything, I want to write and I want to be behind the scenes. Like, if I had known what a showrunner was when I went to college, that's what I would have sort of set my trajectory on.
What is a showrunner?
Yeah, a TV showrunner. I mean, I've criticized movies for so many years, and I know it can take like 15 years to get a movie done, and then it's gone in a weekend. And the same can happen with TV, but I just love the model of television, and in film, the director and the actors are king, and in television, the writer is king, and that's always really been my favorite thing, and my passion has been writing. So if I were to say where I will be in the next 5 years, I hope that I am running a show and creating content and not in front of the camera.
Well, so wanting to be a showrunner, have you thought about starting your own YouTube channel, or I don't know, some sort of?
And all of my ideas are really expensive, dude. The things that I want to do, it's like, it's really difficult to do. And I've definitely thought about that, but also I don't love a short model. Like, I don't like the idea of doing like a 6 to 10 minute thing. I like, 20, not even 22. I mean, most of the scripts I write, like I'm trying to turn in a script right now that's supposed to be 58 pages, and I cannot get it below 64 for All the Rice in China. And I'm trying, but got a story in me, man. So I like the idea of like stretching something out over a number of seasons.
Well, are you willing to share what's that idea you have?
Sure. Oh God, there's tons, but
Well, your favorite?
Right now, the one that I love the most that I hope will get made one day is it's set in New York City in the 1980s. Sorry, my cat just attacked my ankle.
That's okay. I got cats too. They're always scratching on the door, jacking everything up, so I locked them away.
Hey! Yeah, he just ran into the couch and started attacking my ankle. It's pretty great. The idea that is closest to my heart is set in the public access world of television in New York in the 1980s, and it's about this dude who just desperately wants to be like the next Jim Henson. He just wants to be a puppeteer and make like amazing children's programming, but he has terrible, uncontrollable Tourette syndrome. So he just can't hold back these awful things that are constantly spilling out of his mouth, and yet he becomes sort of like a Pee Wee Herman cult sensation. But he never knows if people are laughing with him or at him. I love that one. I did another one that I really like, which is basically a modern retelling of Tinkerbell, where she gives up fairy form to come to Los Angeles and try to find love, and it becomes sort of like Sex in the City. And the thing that I'm trying to cut down right now, I wrote with my writing partner, and that is called The Joy of Killing. And it's about a woman named Joy who basically starts out as a desperate housewife and becomes La Femme Nikita. But the issue we keep having, because we've had people that are interested in the script, and they keep calling and being like, does she have to kill people? And we're like, bitch, it's in the title. Yes, she has to kill people. Would you ask that question if she was a male protagonist?
Right.
But while we're waiting on that one, the next one I just convinced my writing partner to do with me is called The Strip. And it's basically a television redo of Showgirls. And I'm very into that too.
That sounds awesome.
Thanks.
So, I guess, is the biggest thing holding you back money, or is it finding producer? I don't know. What is it that's stopping you?
When you're an unknown quantity in anything, writing, producing, acting, hosting, you just need that first opportunity for people to know that they can trust you, right?
Right.
So I am just waiting for like the one person to be like, well, she's never written anything before, but this is good enough for us to trust that she can go off and do this thing. So I just need somebody to believe. The agents believe, the managers believe. We just need a network or a studio to believe.
That makes sense. Well, have you thought about just doing it on your own? Just like, kind of like for example, I don't know if you ever saw Mallrats back in the day. Jeremy London, he's one of my acting coaches, because I'm kind of pursuing acting too. Cool. Getting into acting is so difficult, but I kind of decided, okay, I need some demo footage, but it's a catch-22 because you need demo footage to get roles, but you need roles to get demo footage. So I just paid my own DP. I paid him. I paid some other people to kind of make a little short, which I actually have on my channel. It's kind of, it's not the best thing ever, but sometimes you just gotta, put your own oomph behind it to kind of get it done and make people see it. Yeah, maybe if you did like a 5-minute version or something, I don't know, maybe did something with some people locally, maybe a lower budget version to show people what you can do, and maybe make them interested that way.
Yeah, I thought about that, but the truth is I am a little bit old school in, like, I think about ideas frequently where I'm like, could that be a web series? Could I do that on my own? But I have been told a million times that whatever it is that I want, I can't have. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times people are like, oh, film criticism, that's like the acting of hosting. It's very difficult to get a job doing that. And that's how I make my living. I was told that I couldn't have a job as a chef. They were like, ooh, chefing, it's really hard. There's not a lot of women in that field. And I did that for 11 years. And like, I ended up cooking for huge celebrities and doing a show on Food Network. I've been told no a lot. And I feel like I'm cool laying in the cut and waiting to see if it goes forward in the way that I envision it. Because, like, in my head, it's Jennifer Gardner and Jada Pinkett Smith. And
Hell yeah.
I'm just going to wait and see if that can happen. And if it can't, sure, maybe I'll, like, try to do it a different way. But with this particular round of, like, television writing, I've only been pursuing it for about a year.
Right.
So I feel like I've got some time to see where it takes me.
Okay. So, kind of leading me into my next question, I know you interviewed like a bazillion celebrities, lots of high profile ones. You ever try slipping in those ideas to them, like, hey, I'm doing this thing, would you be interested in this? Or is that not professional?
So there are people in the industry who take selfies with celebrities and ask them to sign stuff for them. I'm not that person. I've had one celebrity sign one thing, and it was Mark Wahlberg. And it's, he did a fitness, like a workout VHS back in like the late 80s, early 90s, right? Like in the main Calvin Klein time. And it's basically a softcore porn. And I was like, I'm sorry, this is weird, but would you sign it? And he was like, well, I'm only signing it if you use it. And I was like, oh, honey, I use it. It's the only time I've ever done that. I feel like when I'm there to do that job, that's the job that I'm there for. And actually the truth is because I am, like, so many people know me in that capacity, once you're in a lane, people really like keeping you in that lane.
Kind of like typecasting with acting, but with other stuff.
Totally. Like, they want to be like, okay, you're the person who does this. So when you say, oh, actually, I'm really interested in this other thing, they immediately want to discount you. The truth is the first script that got me any attention and got me sort of like a network's eye, I changed the name on. I put a fake name on it, and I gave it to one of my bosses at FX. And I was like, hey, a friend of mine gave me this. What do you think? Would you give it a read? And he came back, and he was like, this is amazing. I would love to produce this. Let's talk about this. And I was like, oh, cool, because I wrote it. And it really, like, opened up the conversation. But that was one of my bosses, and I was afraid I was going to get fired for doing it.
So, I mean, when they found that out, I don't know, what kept you from getting fired, or what? They just liked it, or
only one person knew, and when a second person found out, I actually got a really scathing letter from the legal department.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah, I actually did get in a little trouble after the fact. That person, the only reason I didn't get in trouble is because that person kept it secret and has since left the company.
Right.
And we're still working together on other projects, and nobody at the network knows. I shouldn't have said this on this video.
Well, you didn't use any names or anything. You know, sometimes.
I'm not good TV because I don't think before I talk.
Well, sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. So you just gotta, you know.
Tells me that all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So, out of all those celebrity interviews that you've done, what's your favorite moment, or who's the favorite celebrity you did, or favorite thing that ever happened?
Robin Williams will always have such a special place in my heart. He reminds me a lot of my dad, actually. So I always loved him as an actor, and like did Poet Society and Good Will Hunting and Mrs. Doubtfire. But I did a number of interviews with him, and every time it was just so incredible. And for Happy Feet, we ended up singing together, and that will always be one of my favorite moments of all time.
Do you have a karaoke song?
Sexual healing. When I get that
As
feeling.
Ethel Merman, though.
Oh,
Sexual.
sexual feeling. That's the quickest turn off in the world. That's the best birth control in the whole world.
He told me that every song he sings at karaoke sounds like Ethel Merman. So if you're going to sing anything, that's how it has to sound. He does not sound like Ethel Merman in the movie. Robin Williams is just a talent unparalleled.
So
I
if
adore
Ethel
him.
Merman were in Twilight, that whole scene wouldn't have happened, is what
Then
we're
we
saying.
could be singing about babies and vampires, and it would be great.
I also did an interview with Jason Momoa, my boyfriend, for Conan, which was a terrible movie. And I read him quotes from other projects he'd been in, and I made him figure out what it was.
You're gonna tell me which of your projects it's from. Ready?
Yes.
My son, the stallion who will mount the world. My favorite line of the year.
It's Drogo.
Nothing.
That's actually my she's a fini on there. Ora chicate mapo, rakokrini win more.
You just made my entire year.
The final quote was from Baywatch Hawaii, and the line was just, he's right behind you, and he knew that it was Baywatch Hawaii. And then afterward, he like got up and gave me this huge hug, and I'm like hugging, you know, my Khal Drogo, and I'm just like, this is the best. This is the best interview. But I mean, I've had some. It's a really cool gig. Like this being my job for the last like 8 years, I've been super lucky. Like when you're sitting across from Meryl Streep and like talking about her work, you just have to sort of say like, oh, this is a really nice life. Like I remember once I was super bitter because I hate flying to New York when I have to go for work, because usually you're only there for like a day and you're on the plane longer than you're actually doing the work and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sort of griping about it. And I had to stop myself and I was like, wait a second. I am flying to New York to go interview Leonardo DiCaprio. If 17-year-old Sasha could see Sasha now, she would freak out. Be grateful for what you have.
Kind of brings me to my next question, which is, why are you not on Collider TV Talk anymore? Is it because of the way people talk in comment sections, or what?
So a lot of people have been asking me this. I will just say that I did not leave of my own volition.
Okay, so it wasn't because you just had people hating on you in comment sections and you're like, I can't handle this anymore.
I don't read the comments. I never read the comments. The only time I know what people say in the comments is when someone tells me what they say in the comments.
Okay.
I long ago learned, do not read the comments, because the thing is like when I go out with my girlfriends and we're talking about our lives, I never sit around and go, oh my God, my husband is so amazing and he treats me so well and we have the best day, because that would just be weird. But
right.
I can sit there and go, oh my God, girl, we got into the dumbest fight the other day. Here was the fight. And I can tell them about like the acrimonious parts.
Right.
In general, in a forum like that, people don't go on to be like, I love blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it happens, but vitriol, especially as a woman online, is so rampant that you just have to expect that that's what's going to happen. Like at Screen Junkies, we just did this video about the potential casting of Beyonce as Nala in The Lion King.
Right.
And people lost their minds. They were like, she can't sing, she's got no talent, she sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that is just like factually inaccurate.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight up. So I would never, ever read the comments. The truth is I would love to tell you. I am not going to tell you simply because if I do, I'll be the one who gets flamed for it. I'll be the one who gets burned for it, not the people who actually had the bad behavior.
Right.
Because I'll be considered like unruly or like out for vengeance, which is just not the case. I have a very dear friend. He is Ronda Rousey's strength and training coach. Sorry, I just totally name dropped, but that's how I'm going to do it. So just like to give you an understanding of who this person is.
Okay.
He has a needlepoint up in his bathroom that is, to me, the most perfect exemplification of both his personality and mine. And this beautiful needlepoint that looks like something you would hang in your grandma's bathroom says, don't do me any fucking favors. If you don't want me on your channel, I don't need to be on your channel. If you do, I'm happy to do it. But don't do me any fucking favors. However, I will do you a favor and not tell everybody what actually happened, because it would paint certain people in a really bad light.
Yeah, I totally understand that, you know. I always assumed that it was because I can't remember who posted it on the Schmoville thing. They posted a picture of you and said, you know, hey, you guys, you know, she's beautiful. Why don't you guys say nice stuff about her or something? And then it seemed like the next week you weren't on Collider TV Talk anymore. So I assumed it was because of comments and stuff. But it's good to hear that's not why it was.
No.
I guess you gotta have a thick skin to be a YouTube star, I've noticed. So backtracking a little bit to the celebrity interview stuff, you talked about some of the best moments. Have you ever had an embarrassing moment during an interview, or maybe a weird encounter of some kind?
The only time, I've been pretty lucky. Like I've had a lot of people, there are certain people who are like known for being really difficult, and I've had really great interactions with them consistently. Like Tommy Lee Jones always loved me. Morgan Freeman and I always had a great time.
Would you want to live to be...
I would want to live to be 1,000.
Really? You wouldn't get tired?
Nah, get out of here.
Tired.
Yeah, tired of what?
Life is hard, Morgan.
And then you die.
I know,
yes,
it's exhausting.
I know, but what you have to do, you have to develop a love for the struggle.
There was one day when Nick Nolte refused to answer any questions during the Warrior Junket, and he and I totally hit it off, and I ended up making him cry because he liked my questions so much.
That's a great movie, by the way.
Oh, I love that movie. Love that movie.
Yeah.
the only time I ever had a weird and or negative experience was I was doing a freelance job for a TV station or a TV channel that no longer exists. And they gave me the questions. And I said, I feel really uncomfortable asking these questions. And they were like, well, we need you to ask them or else we're not going to use you. And I wanted to keep the job. So I kind of did like a spin on the questions because the questions themselves were like along lines of who are you dating, what are you wearing, how do you feel about this, your most recent breakup, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Which is that's not my deal. I don't care. Like I don't care about that stuff. I don't care who you're dating and I don't care who you're wearing. Unless it's really cute, in which case maybe I'll go buy it. But I asked these questions in a way that I thought wasn't as disrespectful. Like one of the questions I said was, I know you've gone through a recent breakup. I'm really sorry about that. How has fan support sort of helped you through it? Because I thought that was like a little bit of a more positive thing, but at least I'm asking about the breakup a little bit.
Right.
The publicist for that particular actor freaked out, threatened to pull my tapes, and I pulled him aside and I was like, oh honey, if you think that's bad, here are the questions they wanted me to ask. Like I softened the blow. But that was the only time that I've had like a negative, weird, uncomfortable experience.
Well, what if are those press junkets that you do? Are they always right after you watch a movie?
Yeah, usually like within the next like day or week.
Do you think Twilight was better served having a woman and a female team at the front of it?
Of course I do.
What is the greatest lie the media has ever sold about you, or you have ever sold about yourself?
That's a great question.
Were you nervous? Did you bring her flowers? Did you do anything?
I didn't.
So is it ever awkward having to interview someone if you absolutely like hated the movie or it's a terrible movie? Like, how do you ask them questions? I don't know. How do you give a positive spin to it if it's not a very good movie?
Well, so the thing is I'm never actually talking to them about the opinion of the movie, my opinion of the movie. We're just talking about like the process of or the ideas behind.
Okay.
And here's the thing that I know. No one sets out to make a bad product.
Right.
Nobody ever wants to do that. Like, you don't want to make a bad meal, you don't want to make a bad movie, nobody wants to do that. So there is something interesting about everything.
Right.
The stupidest, dumbest, lamest people in the world have an interesting story to tell. Everybody has something intrinsically interesting about them. And every movie has an idea, even if it's like a kernel of an idea that you can talk about. So even if it's like a terrible movie that I absolutely hate, and here's the other thing, usually when a movie's terrible, the actors know it's terrible and they put on a song and dance, sell it.
Right.
So they make my job easy in those cases.
How does someone get to go to a press junket? Like, if I wanted to say, I want to be one of those people that goes and interviews Hugh Jackman after Logan, how do you do that? Do you have some sort of credentials or do you just show up or what?
So here's the thing. Number one, you're never only going to be interviewing Hugh Jackman. Like for every interview with Hugh Jackman, you're going to be doing 30 or 40 interviews for teeny tiny independent films or really terrible comedies or sad sack dramas that come out. And then every once in a while you get a Logan, you get a Rogue One, you get, a Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a lot of, when I was working for NBC here in Los Angeles, I was seeing on average somewhere between 150 and 200 movies a year. I was junketing probably 4 movies a week, sometimes less, sometimes more. And it is just constant. Like, you're sometimes doing like 3 junkets in a weekend.
So you get hired to do it. It's not like you just go do it yourself.
Well, the thing is like for somebody like you, what you would do is you would reach out to the publicity departments at studios and you would say, hey, I am Chris or I'm so-and-so, and this is my YouTube channel. Here are links, and you would send links to the most popular videos you've done. Here are examples of what I'm up to, and I would love to cover your upcoming projects.
Okay.
And then you sort of go from there, and then as the studios and the publicity companies get to know you better, they invite you to things, constantly. Because of FX and because of Screen Junkies, I don't do as much junket stuff now. But when I was at NBC, I would just be inundated with emails constantly.
Okay.
And I still get a lot of stuff, but not as much as I used to. But that's pretty much how you do it. You just contact the publicity department, say, here's what I'm about, here's what I have, here are my numbers, I would like to cover. And if you fit the demo of what they want for publicity, then they invite you.
So, being that I'm not in LA and a bunch of other YouTube reviewers, some of them are in LA and New York, but for those of us that are in more obscure areas, and they're probably not, I can't just show up to an LA premiere or something.
Right.
Is that pretty much possible, or do they ever send out those screener DVDs to people they may not know personally?
No, they wouldn't send it. The only time they would send screening links for smaller movies would happen. Screeners are typically just like an award season thing.
I noticed I wasn't getting many followers at first. I still really don't, comparatively to a lot of people, but considering this is just kind of a side hobby for me, I noticed I started getting a lot more views and subscribers when I changed my rating system. So, the average rating system of people out there, it's like 1 through 10, or thumbs up, thumbs down, rotten, or whatever. Pretty much a scale of good to bad.
Right.
But as we all know, we all have our guilty movie pleasures. Maybe there's a movie that really sucks, but we just love it, right?
Sure.
What do you think makes a good rating system to you?
I don't know. What's yours? Tell me it.
Well, okay, my rating system's very different than most people. It kind of inspired me by Jeremy Johns, because he has a very different kind of rating system, buy it on Blu-ray and dog shit and stuff like that. Well, mine is, to me, you kind of have relationships with movies. So mine are kind of like a relationship status that I give to a movie. So, for example, if a movie really sucks, I just call it trash. The next one would be Blue Balls. Basically, that would be a movie that, for example, maybe you're really hyped for it, you got a lot of anticipation, then you go see it. Maybe it's not a bad movie, but you just did not get what you expected out of it. You know what I mean? It's like, you're just really let down. You got Blue Balls. So that's that rating. You got your One Night Stand. Those are movies that are, you see them and you forget about them. You know what I mean? They're not good, they're bad, whatever. Maybe they're even really good, like There Will Be Blood, to me, is a really good movie, but for me, it's a one-night stand. I'm never going to go watch that movie again.
Too hard to see it more than once.
All right, and so then the next rating would be Friends with Benefits. Those are movies that are kind of the guilty movie pleasures. They may not have the most depth. They may not be the best thing in the world, but you just have fun with them. You can watch them a million times, but they're not something you're going to be showing off to a lot of people, Like for me, a movie like Mortal Kombat, I love that movie. That's my Friends with Benefits, you know what I mean? It's not the best movie in the world, but I have fun with it. Then you got Girlfriend Material. That's the ratings for movies that are really good. And then you have Marriage Material, which is like the best movie in the world. Sure. So anyway, my point is I tried to change my rating system up, and I noticed some people like that.
I like that. Yeah, that's great.
The only problem with it is...
Jeremy Jones is a really good example of somebody who wasn't in LA, wasn't in New York,
right,
and still built a huge following. Why? Because people trust Johns, and they liked the way he delivered the information.
Yeah,
and
I love that
guy. Back to him.
Yeah, him and the Schmoes, they're the ones that kind of inspired me to start my channel. I know you're not on their channel anymore, but how did you come to meet like the Schmoes and all those people? How did you come to be on Collider TV Talk and a part of that YouTube community?
So I know Mark Riley from college, and I was in his wedding. I was one of the bridesmaids. And then I met Christian and Mark. They remember this, I don't, when I was shooting a show with Molly Elfman, who was Danny Elfman's daughter, way back in the day. And then I'm friends with Mary from forever and a half ago, and I knew Alicia from Junkets, and Alicia asked me to come on when all the dudes were gone for a ladies' night episode. So it was me, Mary, and Alicia, and Makuga.
And I was like, I didn't know anything about you, and you'd been friends with Miri and Alicia and all these girls forever, and I was like, where the hell has she been this whole time? Why hasn't she been on Schmoes?
I don't know.
And now, you're just like a regular part of the crew. You're the best.
Oh, that's nice. I love being included. Schmoes is one of the nicest communities when you can talk about like online movie stuff, when you get together a bunch of nerds.
And then they invited me to come back, and then I started coming on more frequently, and then when they started TV Talk, Makuga asked me to come in just for the first 2 weeks, because Perry was actually supposed to be on TV Talk, and then they liked me on it so much that they kept me. And then they had Perry start doing whatever the News of the Week roundup that she does is.
Okay, so you kind of met them on a personal level first. It wasn't like you sent a resume and like, yeah, let's have Sasha. Okay.
Yeah.
So it does kind of seem like everyone on those channels, and you said you're on Screen Junkies now. It seems like all those people, it's like this community of people that all know each other from high school and college and are friends and stuff like that.
Well, I only knew Mark from college. Everybody else, like, if you're in the entertainment reporting, especially the online entertainment reporting sphere in LA, it's a really small community.
Okay.
Yeah, so once you're in it, I do stuff for Nerdist. I am now on Screen Junkies News all the time.
Right.
You end up sort of bouncing around because of that.
Okay, that makes sense. I know the Screen Junkies, sometimes they, even just this last week, I think they kind of had a Screen Junkies versus Schmoes kind of Schmodown thing. Would you ever be able to be on another Schmodown if you're a part of the Screen Junkies team, or are you never going to be on there?
I have no interest. That is the one time, because like I said, I don't read the comments, but I got death threats after doing the Schmodown.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, via Twitter. I got significant death threats after that, and I was like, all right, I'm not doing this again. So I'll never do another Schmodown, ever.
Man, are you the only one that happens to, or does that happen to everybody?
I don't know. I know Clark got a lot of just like hate and attacks, but I don't know. There's not that many women who participate there. I know that Brienne got some stuff. I don't know that she got death threats though.
I just don't understand people sometimes. You know, it's like...
Yeah.
So we're kind of near the end of the questions here. Okay, as far as interviews go, if you could interview one person that you have not interviewed before, who would you interview? Or have you interviewed pretty much everybody already? Celebrity or non-celebrity?
I never interviewed David Benioff.
Okay.
Or D.B. Weiss. But the thing is I don't know that I actually would want to, because I don't want answers to my questions. I think I just want to like sit there and tell them that I love them and just be like, you're great, you're great, you're great, you're great, you're so great. Similarly with Beyonce, like I just want to smell her. I just want to smell her beautiful, beautiful skin.
Well, you might be able to if she ends up becoming Nala in The Lion King and you do a junket for him or something.
But the thing is you also sometimes you shouldn't meet your heroes. You just shouldn't, because it's just
They might not be exactly what you expect.
Right. What do you think? Who would I want to interview who I haven't? I don't know.
Well,
Well,
I do know I just got to interview one of the people I've wanted to interview for a very long time. It was very nice having you on here, doing me a huge favor for a little small channel. It's always awesome to have that kind of stuff happen, so I really appreciate it. I hope the viewers appreciate it. It's very lovely having another huge talent on here. Hopefully, maybe one day we'll be able to do it again when I have better equipment and it's not doing weird stuff. And all right, guys, you can follow. Well, wait. So you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Knittel Man. Where can people find you?
you can find me at Sasha-Perl Raver on Twitter and Instagram.
All right, guys, you heard her. Go follow her. She has some awesome stuff. If you want to check her out, go check out Screen Junkies. She's on there now. So that's it, guys. Follow me. I don't know. I'm going to edit something else in there if that doesn't sound so awkward.